by the way.
Welcome to the first episode of Yo Gabara Gabara, a bootleg, cheap as possible podcast. That's why it's on YouTube.
Heyo.
With a iPhone and a backdrop full of SH Monster Arts. That's where our budget went.
Yeah, well, don't forget Mr. NECA
The NECA.
85 Godzilla back there.
And the, was it floral foam?
Oh, yeah.
That was a great idea. I'm still yelling. That's a great idea! But
Well, I can't take all the credit for it. I did see it on YouTube. And then I'm too cheap to buy all the Monster Arts sets for buildings because they want to charge, like, so much money for them, and I could just make them myself.
And plus they're bigger and they're better and they're
Yeah,
more in
it's actually kind of in scale. So
you need to blow a giant hole through one though.
Oh yeah, no,
But look,
happening.
the different floors though, it's amazing.
Oh yeah.
And there's nothing on that side. I thought there was a.
Well, you can't have all the sides be destroyed.
Every side
We're not dancing around the building.
It's musical buildings.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're supposed to be talking about
Our first movie that we're going to cover, Godzilla 1985, the American version.
I don't want to talk about the American version because I haven't seen it in 20 darn years. I'm done with this podcast already. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
I like how you're probably going to hear me just trail off into the
I'm
background.
done with this podcast. Well, funny enough, I do have notes on it.
You have a ton of notes.
I do. I watched it this morning and tried to do a play-by-play of note-taking.
I don't want this to sound like other podcasts, which I'm not going to say.
Oh no, yeah.
I don't want to name drop.
I don't want to like take anyone's format by any means.
So what happens in the movie? What about this? And look, let's just break it down to it. Let's talk about monster fights.
Well, there are none in this movie. Well, except for him.
So, all right,
versus,
so we're going to switch over to
Super X.
Godzilla versus Biollante, the movie that I have notes for.
The sequel to this movie.
I know me and you've talked about this before. I like how you're looking at me like we're actually on NPR. It's like, so tell me let's talk about this movie. I know that there's other Godzilla movies that some of them are a continuation of, but in my nerdy head, I see 1985 and Biollante as one continuous movie. I think because it opens up hours after 85 ends.
Yeah, well, they're collecting the tissue around the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God it's not like Shin Godzilla. Have you seen that deleted scene?
With
the flesh falling off and there's eyeballs in it.
Yeah. They don't need to make a sequel to Shin Godzilla, by the way. They do not need to. It's good as it is. Let's leave it alone.
I think I could do the hey, I'm made out of metal talk. Get really close and talking to a bottle. Sorry. This is what happens when I get really nervous. It's like go off track. But yeah, Super X.
The lone fight. It's the introduction of the Super X, and which, he's been in several movies now in various forms.
3.
Yeah, that's more than Gabara. Hey, so the beginning start, when he comes in and he's flying around, they have the cadmium missiles, which worked, and they don't use really again, do they? I mean,
do they use them in?
Well, in Biollante they have the beam. It's like the crystal beam that they shoot at him.
Made out of synthetic diamonds.
Yeah.
That melts.
Which doesn't seem to do anything to him. I mean, they fire him at him over in the ocean, and Godzilla just... I mean, it messes him up, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't make his heart stop, and he just topples over into a building like the cadmium missiles do. Which, by the way, down for the count had the Russian guy not shot off a nuke, and they detonated over in the atmosphere. I know.
That's in the American version.
Well,
I was about to call you Kyle. I don't know why. That was in the American version, Kyle. I was like, I don't know anybody. I do know somebody named Kyle.
You do.
That also has a... Anyway. What was Super X3?
He was the
freezing missiles, but...
He had the jet. He was the jet plane, yeah.
Weird. What was the missiles that they shot? Was it the micro oxygen missiles or something like that? I can't remember.
Drawing a blank on that one.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
well, that movie makes me cry.
Right.
But anyway.
So yeah, really the only monster fight in this one, other than the maser attacks and whatnot that they do for Godzilla, while he's attacking the city. Which great set, by the way.
It was.
It's a really good set.
Yeah.
All the miniatures. I mean, Godzilla picks up the subway tram as it runs by and just throws it down like he doesn't care. And this is a very cat-like looking Godzilla too. He's got the weird little tiny ears and the fangs.
Yeah, the ears always kind of...
It threw me off. It's real weird. I mean, we're looking at him right now. Yeah. He's got tiny ears.
Them little bitty ears. Mm-hmm. We're not... If we decide to continue to do this, we don't have every Godzilla, so it's going to be...
Yeah, well, we're hoping that each, background's going to be different every time. I'm going to build more buildings. It'll be interesting.
We'll have a skyline eventually.
Oh, yeah.
A skyline.
Yeah, bring the star into the forefront here.
Because we got two Showa in the beginning of the Heisei series. Hey, guys.
So, saddest part of the whole movie, though. Yeah, we all know what it is. They drop him in a volcano.
Okay,
and you
but
hear
before
the scream.
But before that, though, the bird call. They never bring it back. They never mention it again. Hey, we lured him into a volcano that we blew up with a bird call. Wouldn't you think that after a while they would probably bring that back into another movie, and especially in
especially since the sequel, it like literally picks up like we just said, like hours later, and he comes out of the volcano and is running rampant, and they kind of don't know what to do with him.
Yeah.
Like, how did you get him there in the first place? Oh, you used a frequency.
We used the bird call.
We used a bird call. Which, can you buy that at Walmart, by the way? Can you go to, like, the hunting section? Yeah, I want to get the Godzilla bird call.
Can we get the seagulls?
Yeah.
It wasn't... I know it, but Goramaki, wasn't he a character in 1985? Wasn't he one of the characters? That name has been used multiple times. I want to say, and I'm not 100%, I want to say he's a character in Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, and Goramaki is the doctor that vanished in Shin Godzilla.
Yeah, you're right there. But, and you may be right about this, but I know, even in my notes when I was watching 85 earlier, obviously there's a ton of different characters. There's really only like 4 or 5, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. That's all they really focus on. You have Maki, the journalist, Miyoko, the sister, Kenny, Miyoko's brother, and then you have Professor Hayashida. And then, obviously, if we're talking about the American version, you have Raymond Burke. Mr. Martin.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
And that's pretty much it. We don't, I mean...
Why was he named Mr. Martin instead of calling him Steve Martin?
Oh, yeah. Well,
because a certain comedian started hitting the forefront there.
So, as to your answer about Goramaki, I can't answer that one, but... honestly, that's really all they focus on in this movie.
I was like, why do they bring him back? Like, hey, use the bird calls and let's lure him back to the volcano.
Right.
Godzilla's pissed at that point.
Yeah.
The sea louse. With the mutated sea
Yes,
sea
in the beginning,
insects,
the parasite, which very cool concept, because I can't think of too many other Godzilla. I mean, have they really brought any other Godzilla parasites?
No.
Yeah. So,
suck it, Cloverfield.
Right? Godzilla did it first.
Yeah.
What's up? Dangerous looking thing too. I
They
mean,
were, man.
It only showed that one, but I mean, I'm assuming more than one killed all the people on the Hadamaru. Because everyone but...
Points for you, man. I haven't seen this movie in about a year.
I told you I watched it this morning.
I know. I should have watched it last night in preparation. See, this is how cheap this little podcast is. We're not even focusing on our faces because we don't want to.
Oh, no. But yeah, the Hadamaru...
That's a lot of notes.
I'm telling you, man. I went all out.
All right, we got dead air, so let's continue to talk.
Exactly. So, yeah, sea louse.
No,
they kill it pretty quick. I mean, for something that apparently just killed everyone on board, they take him out with like a axe or hatchet to the back, and one hit, and that's it.
Was it to the back or was it underneath?
It was to the back. He's laying on top of Maki, and Maki's trying to stab him, which, by the way, watching that movie again, those are the worst stabs ever. He's just poking it, and somehow he misses. I don't know how he misses this thing that's laying on top of him, but then Kenny comes in with axe to the back and takes him out in one hit, and that's it. You're telling me a ship full of guys couldn't have done that, which definitely leads me to believe that there's more than one.
There's it's the same. It's the descendants of the people from well, not descendants, the ancestors from the Lost World. That ghost ship that hits the port and everybody on board's dead.
Yeah. We don't know how everyone died on there. There's a T-Rex and a baby Rex, but somehow the arm is hanging off of the steering wheel of the ship. None of that makes sense.
That's episode 2, so tune in next time. We'll be talking about the Lost World Jurassic Park. But yeah, the effects in this movie were really great.
Man, they did a really good job with this one.
The snarling, the face.
Yeah.
I love the lips.
And watching it again, when he freaks out after they shoot him with the cadmium missiles, it's almost like they built an animatronic version to go alongside the man in the suit, because the way the movements are, he's just kind of spazzing out, almost like he's about to seize all over Tokyo.
You've just made it more dangerous.
Right.
I wonder. I'm switching to Shin Godzilla. This is the ADD moment. When the bombers hit Godzilla in the back, and he suddenly goes disco light show, shooting beams out of his back.
Best scene in the movie.
I was just like, what the heck? Was that? Do you ever think that that's from the missiles hitting him, and it just cracked his skin, kind of like Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, where the drill goes through his arm, and he shoots the atomic blast, and the beam comes out of his out of his shoulder.
Maybe. I never thought of that.
But then he just doesn't ever heal that back up.
Yeah.
But then how can you explain that? Oh god, that movie! I love that movie.
It's a great movie.
I love that movie so much.
And he's a big fan of Pink Floyd, apparently, with that laser show he does halfway through and at the end.
No, but like this Godzilla 1985, or The Return of Godzilla, this again and Biollante together, my super movie. That GMK and Shin Godzilla is my top 3 Godzilla movies.
Well, I will say 89 by far best suit as well.
Which disappeared, didn't it?
No, I thought
it disappeared like in the middle of like the Mothra movie, so they had to change it.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Look that up in your notes.
Right.
Let me see if I got it.
Yeah, no, best suit by far 89. This suit's really good. I like what they did with it. A lot of facial movements in here. Not so much with the eyes. It's all just lips and mouth, and he blinks occasionally, and that's it. After he after he pushes the building on top of Super Rex, he just kind of gives you this like mean mug and stares down the camera.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm going through my notes. Like, did I write anything about that suit in here?
Yeah, you have a lot more of the like little tidbits and little facts behind everything. I have more screenplay.
Here is the Godzilla Bio Goji. The suit was redesigned to fit. If I could say it in my head, but when it comes out of my redneck mouth,
just give it a shot. Give it a shot. Go for it.
Satsuma-san.
Nailed it. Look at
just
that.
Skipped one name completely. Oh God! If you ever hear this, I'm sorry and I apologize. The head was smaller than the 1985 one. The eyes were darker and hooded, is what the text said. And also a second row of teeth were added. Those teeth in that suit
on 89.
Yeah, and forward. I guess, because I think then they followed that all the way up through.
Yeah, pretty much all the way through.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Oh yeah,
those are just sharp teeth. I'm still talking loud.
Well, the 85 teeth just look like needles. Like they're really thin and really pointy.
I miss the fangs though.
He does have his cat fangs going on.
Yeah, I have all these weird. I was just like scrolling through the internet. What? This sounds like a good little tidbit to use. And I was just like, wow, I wrote a.
At least you're prepared for when we do Godzilla versus Biollante.
Just like I'm prepared for a movie that I haven't watched since. And then I got more.
Well, to be fair, we were going to do I think Biollante first.
That's what. Yeah.
We were going to do this one first, and
I asked my wife, "Hey, name a number 1 through what 27, 28 Godzilla movies," and she said 16. And like, that's one of my favorite. No, 17. She said. 16. Yeah, 16 is 1985. Which is my lucky number. This is number 1 that we're doing is about Godzilla 1985, and I'm destroying this with me just talking about random facts.
We've kind of jumped from 85 to Biollante to Shin Godzilla.
Okay, let's throw it really
in there too.
let's throw it really out of left field. So, what do you think about Godzilla versus Hedorah?
That's a whole nother thing.
We'll waste another 20, 30 minutes on that one later. But we're already up to the 16-minute mark, and I don't think anybody's paying attention at this point.
Oh no, we have tons of viewers listening to this right now.
Oh God,
they're all huge fans.
But all right, let's get serious.
As far as like, I know they could have put another monster in this movie. I'm glad they didn't.
I'm glad they didn't.
They didn't need one. This being one of my favorite movies of Godzilla because he is just mean in this one.
Yeah.
This is one, like I said, I grew up on. He's mean and angry and really just a titular villain.
It's the first time they've seen him since the last Godzilla showed up.
Since the original, yeah.
And
it fits.
It does.
I mean, it's such a good sequel. Now, how many? I mean, we've had what, like 14 movies between this one and the original. And we're gonna skip all of that, and that's the crazy convoluted Godzilla timeline that, there's a lot of different movies that are tie-ins directly to the original that kind of ignore a lot of the other ones in between. But
there was a kid a long time ago on a little website called GaiaOnline.com. I don't know why that was important. I felt like I needed to say it. But we got into a giant debate, and you were talking about the timeline, and this deals with that. He believed that every Godzilla movie was one continuous timeline, even though they say he hasn't been seen since the 1950s.
There's even a segment in this movie after the government goes and gets Raymond Burr's character and they pull him into like their war room. There's a scene where they're reviewing the initial attack back from 54.
Yeah.
And it shows the scenes, which is really neat. And they have like kind of a little monologue that going on talking about like, all the deaths. Not many people who saw him up close live to tell about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
we killed him, but the guy that created the weapons is no longer around.
So they literally say in this movie.
Yeah. He has not been seen since the 50s.
Yeah.
But he wanted to argue, and this went on for like several days, back and forth. But he said that when, Godzilla dies at the end of Destroy, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, and then Godzilla Jr. is resurrected, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, that he disappears. And like from 96 or 95 to 2000, he was not around. Well, then Godzilla 2000 starts up, and that's Godzilla Jr.
Who looks completely different.
If you go back to the show, that's no big surprise. Like, oh, Godzilla has three toes. Now he's got 4. Now he's got 3 again. Now he has, if you're watching Ultraman, he has a giant frill on his neck. Speaking of which, I need to let you flip through Redman. If you haven't read that from Matt Frank, it's amazing. Go and check it out.
Matt Frank, by the way.
I met him at Dragon Con. He's really cool.
Yeah. Super awesome.
I've got his
if this show was
name
to take
drop.
Off,
No, but it's just
if this show was to take off and do something, he's definitely an interview I would love to do.
Hey man, I'm sorry I kind of nerded out on you that last time I saw you at Dragon Con. I'm sure you don't remember, but I do because I kick myself every day about it. Sorry that I am the way that I am. But anyway, but no, it just went on and on and on, and it's like, dude, they say multiple times throughout all these movies that he's not been seen since the 50s, or they haven't been seen since Mothra versus Godzilla. The Millennium series was weird.
I've now heard that the Millennium series doesn't have, aside from maybe like 1 or 2 movies, doesn't really have its own. Like each movie is its own timeline.
It is. Well, other than the Mechagodzilla one.
Exactly.
But there's still certain movies involved. Okay, so this episode is just basically Godzilla in general. We'll serious up later, but we got 10 more minutes, and that's about it. One of the movies even references, I think, one of the best Showa movies in existence, and you can debate with me or not. I will destroy you. But War of the Gargantuans is one of the best movies they've ever got. All right. No, was it you or Joel? I can't remember.
It was not me.
It was Joel. Never mind. I said that whole setup was for nothing. But no, they even mentioned, some of them mentioned Varan. I enjoyed Varan. I didn't finish it. I need to, but we moved and it just got put on the back burner. There was a lot of stock footage in it. Have you seen Varan?
I have not.
We'll watch it and then we'll review it, and that'll be one of our first ones.
I heard it's unbelievable.
It's very unbelievable. It's unbelievable that they've used that much stock footage from Godzilla. But I don't.
As far as Showa, best, in my opinion, best Showa film, Terror of Mechagodzilla.
I love it. That's one of the best intros for Godzilla showing up. Just Titanosaurus just walking around. Yeah. That's a terrible roar.
Oh, his roar is so annoying in that movie. And they do it all the time. Nailed it. Spot on.
Yes! But he's just going through the city, destroying it, and all of a sudden, an atomic beam just comes out.
Oh, yeah, left field.
And the camera just pans over. You see the silhouette of Godzilla. The theme kicks in. The lights kick in. And you just see Godzilla just, like, staring him down.
Like, if you weren't amped already watching this Godzilla, there it is. That's the point.
My equivalent is when Captain America shows up in Infinity War, and everybody freaks out, like, "Oh my God, it's Captain America!" No, this is like, "Oh my God, it's Godzilla!"
Yep, finally.
Yeah. That movie also had mannequin boobs in it. Believe it or not, the Japanese version, when the aliens just, when the girl has her accident, and the aliens just happen to show up a second later, we can fix her. And I'm gonna talk about. That reminds me of another topic. Again, we started out with good intentions. It's completely... This
is the overview. You're getting to know us.
This is...
Which he's Clayton.
Welcome to Yo Gabara Gabara.
And I'm Alex, by the way.
Welcome to Yo Gabara Gabara, where we have Tourette's and we just say whatever we have. Like, well, yeah, so this thing.
Yeah, you're getting to know us on this episode. Yeah. I hope you enjoy it.
But they go in and they start working on her, and they have, like, a mannequin chest over her, and it's they don't have that in the American version. And I saw that picture, like, wait a second, surely they're not showing it.
Well, the aliens have done a lot of weird things. I mean, they've turned into cockroaches. I mean,
hold on, this has come full circle.
The aliens in the Godzilla movies are always doing some questionable things, so I'm really not shocked by that one.
Hold on, I just remembered something.
This is what's being aired.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going through it like, I knew I wrote this down somewhere. I want to say, because I tried to make these notes a while back. The actress that was in Terror of Mechagodzilla, she was the wife of the actor who played Gondo in Godzilla vs. Biollante. They were divorced.
Oh, nice.
He is since dead. It's come full circle. Yes!
We're back to Biollante. Indeed. Notes for the win.
Gondo, also one of my favorite characters, just for the simple line of the countdown. It hits 0, he turns, looks, amen. Explosions.
Yep. And by far, and then leads into, you were just talking about best show appearance of Godzilla, the best Hezai appearance of Godzilla.
Oh, him coming out of
coming out of the volcano, the themes roaring. I mean, it's those are the two best ones.
Amen. And then it cuts to the Satan actor. You little scumbags, welcome to you're turning in. Emergency broadcast coming through, so stay tuned. I don't know why I laugh every time. That man was amazing for his 5 seconds. I don't think you'll ever want to do this again. Like, God, Clayton was all over the place. Sorry.
You know.
I have it here. Lieutenant Gondo is a BA.
It's a BA.
I know, because I don't want to cuss, because I don't know if there's kids watching.
Bamf.
Yeah, so, which I told you earlier, I got this movie at Walmart. It was my third Godzilla movie.
In a 2-pack, right?
In a 2-pack with Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. See, everything has a purpose here. We're coming back full circle. There's a reason why we do this. We're insane, that's why.
This one, I'm having a hard time remembering if this was the first one that I watched or not. It's definitely up there. My older brother had a bunch of these Godzilla movies, and so he would just, let me watch them. That's a lot of what I grew up with. I'm young Alex that's watching Godzilla when I would go to my grandparents or something on the weekends. Sci-Fi Channel would air Godzilla movie marathon.
Yep.
And my mom,
AMC was awesome. For me.
She would put in a tape and she would record them back to back to back, and I would come home and I would just have like 10 Godzilla movies on one VHS, and I would just sit there and hit play and play with action figures in my room while Godzilla's going on in the background.
Vision Video, for kids, for young people watching this, what's that? It's a place where you go and rent VHSs.
Where you used to do that.
What's VHSs? It's like a cassette. What's a cassette?
With movies.
It's this black square rectangle thing that has film in it. What's film? Oh, Jesus.
It's never ending when you do that. Yeah, you're going down a dark path.
This is what you could do. You could take 2 VHS players, put one on top of each other.
Oh yeah, we did this all the time.
Hook them up together. Put the one that is playing, that is connected to the television. Put the VHS into it. Click play, and then on the other VHS player, click record.
Yep. And you would basically burn a VHS as you would like burn a CD. I did so many Godzilla movies with that.
That was me, and that was over half my collection of Godzilla movies. And then AMC did a marathon one Halloween, I think starting at 10 a.m. and they went into like 5 a.m. into the morning. And I was just like back to back, like, all right, I got to stay up. I got to stay awake for this. Oh, the TV Guide, that used to be this little magazine that come out in the papers. It said Godzilla versus Mothra 1964.
Yes.
So
yes.
That was at like 2 a.m. in the morning. I had that movie. I think it's kind of weird that they've already shown they showed them in order up to this point. I don't know why they're going back, but whatever. I don't care. I'm going to go to sleep for an hour. So I went to sleep, woke up at the tail end. It was not the original Godzilla versus Mothra or Mothra versus Godzilla. It was Batra versus Mothra.
No.
It was the first time I say that America ever aired it, and I never got a chance to actually watch it. And it was... All right, I'm ready. I took a nap. Let's do this. And turn it on, and it's them, the moths, taking the Ferris wheel and colliding it into Godzilla. And I'm just sitting there like,
I don't remember this in the 64 version. Where are the twin fairies at? This isn't right.
This is, oh God, I've missed it so much.
Man, they really changed it for this American release.
I know, yeah. Speaking of things that they changed for the American release, Godzilla 1985. A lot of anti-Russian propaganda there. Once again, we went full circle. But it's... God, we're all over the place. We're almost at 30 minutes.
I like it.
I know. It's just us non-stop talking. God. Well, all right, we got 30 seconds. Go.
Well, final thoughts. 85. What do you think?
I would
recommend this one to pretty much anyone, especially someone who's never seen Godzilla. I would say you can start here. You can start at watch the original, watch 85, watch Biollante, and that's a good trilogy right there.
That's a good setting off for it.
We really don't dislike this movie. Whether it's 84 or 85, whichever one you choose to watch.
The Return of Godzilla.
Both are spectacular.
If you like laser shows, they have a lot of those thanks to the Mazers.
you know, you got to have a good mazer. And that's one thing that the American Godzilla movies don't ever mess with, is they don't bust out the mazers. And if Michael Daughtry busts out a mazer in Godzilla King of the Monsters,
yes,
I'm going to lose it. He's a huge fanboy, and it's going to be amazing if he does that.
Yeah,
I'm pretty excited.
Just on that note, the director that's doing Godzilla vs. Kong,
yes,
he did the American Death Note, and I've heard nothing but terrible things about that. So that alone has me scared. But they haven't shown a trailer yet. The last movie hasn't even came out yet. So
my only concern for Godzilla vs. Kong is if King Ghidorah is the end-all, be-all, extinction-level event, and Godzilla manages to take him down, what is Kong going to... How is Kong even a threat at this point? They're going to do a Batman-Superman where they're going to have him team up halfway through to fight somebody else. I firmly believe that. I mean, they said they're going to be a definitive winner. And so I think they're going to get into a scrap, maybe two of them. Godzilla, I'm hoping Godzilla's going to come out on top. Kong, you already had your day in the sun back in '62. Get over it. Godzilla comes out on top. No contest, by the way, either. I think KO. And then Destroyer is going to show up, and I'm calling it now. Destroyer comes in from the Oxygen Destroyer that is rumored to be in King of the Monsters.
That's what I hope.
Yeah.
All right, the only thing that I really hope for in Kong versus Godzilla, or Godzilla versus Kong, whatever, I want Kong to pick up a tree.
You get out of here with that right now.
And I want him just to shove it in Godzilla's mouth. That's all I want. I know Godzilla could do what he did in the movie. Just like set it on fire, and just fire, and just spits it right out.
He tried. You know, they teased it in Skull Island. You thought he was, I mean, like...
Oh, God, I love that movie so much. Even though it was ruined in the theaters by like a bunch of talking kids who I went Clint Eastwood on and told them to shut up.
Nice.
Oh, God, it was bad.
Yeah.
And like nobody else around there like said anything to him. And I was like, shut up! Shut up!
Well,
I'm gonna choke you!
Yeah, I'm by the way, Skull Island, the director, I think is John Boyd Roberts, I think is his name, if I'm pronouncing that right, is doing a Metal Gear Solid movie.
I saw that.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Did you see the honest trailer for Kong Skull Island?
No, I did not.
He cuts in and he does it himself.
Yeah.
And even like the epic voice guy, he's like, good Lord, man. He's like, I love pain. And he's like, yeah, like I did this.
Hurt me more.
Yeah, he's like, I did this in the movie and I shouldn't have done it and it made it bad. But yeah, that's my fault. I'm sorry for that. And like I spent most of this movie putting everybody together and then I tore them all apart. Like as soon as they got on the island, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry. Like, I like this guy.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, I think Skull Island's an excellent movie.
I love that movie. And then
the end credit scene.
The ship. Well,
the roar at the end. When that came in theaters, and I'm sitting there, and you're watching the credits, and it's like, you know, Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, King Ghidorah property. Like,
you think Kong's the only one?
Wait a minute, what? And and it goes to that scene, and you're like, oh, look at the cave paintings. But then the roar comes through the speakers.
Just let it wash over you.
And there was people cheering when I was watching it.
I was the only one in there.
When that roar hit, there was people cheering and clapping, and I was like, we are ready. I think America fan base is finally ready for Godzilla to come in and do what he does best.
Run at an incredibly fast speed towards Ghidorah.
You know what? It's all playing until Godzilla starts running. Then people don't know what to do.
I love how there was like an article coming out.
People were mad about that.
Like, people are literally killing people over Godzilla. Like, really? Because
no.
The news. Anyway.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Which they did, by the way, before we cut off, they did say that was actually sped up to fit the music.
You could look at the stuff in the background and could tell it was sped up, but everybody freaks out.
Yeah, about everything.
Social justice warriors and your...
That's a tangent.
I'm gearing up for one right now. You know where I'm about to go with this, but like I know we're about to cut this off, and I'm gonna have to say it because I don't know whenever we're gonna do this again. But all these nerds out there, and we talked about this last time. They're gonna do a whole new like universe for these movies, and it's gonna be. And there was one on Instagram, and I sent it to you, and I ran it, and I'm gonna get this out to the internet, and it's gonna be out there forever. But oh God, what was it? Kong versus Gamera.
Ragnarok.
Get
out of here with that Marvel nonsense. Yeah. I saw that. It was just not.
It's like, I know this wasn't it, but I want to use it just as a placeholder. Mothra versus Rodan, Civil War.
Yeah.
Like, get out.
Yeah.
No, I think it was Godzilla versus Gamera, Civil War. Like, dude, Ultraman's coming. No, it's not.
No,
it's
not.
Subarai.
It's coming to Netflix.
It is coming to Netflix. I'm gonna have to figure out a way how to watch that because I don't have Netflix.
Step 1, get internet. Step 2, get Netflix.
Let me borrow your code.
I lend it to a buddy of mine who is actually going through some stuff right now. If he ever gets his Netflix, of course, because I think you can only limit it to like one other person.
Better be your parents. But yeah, that's us half talking about Godzilla versus the 80s.
So, what's our name? You want to tell them?
Yo Gabara Gabara, named after the best kaiju in the show up there. Coincidentally, I vowed never to watch that movie ever again.
Oh yeah, no, I try not to. Gabara, like I said earlier, looks like Chucky from Rugrats mixed with a cat, and somehow has the best abs I've ever seen on a kaiju.
He's on that Jesus diet. He's got nothing. He's got sweet abs. I think he eats nothing but fish and bread.
Like you gave him those purple glasses that Chucky has. Someone please make that. If there's someone out there listening to this, please draw that and put it online so we can see.
And send it to Alex.
Yes, send it to me.
Oh man, but this was better than I thought it was. Even though it was just me.
We went everywhere. This is the introduction.
You did good. I want to say you did really good. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, hey, butterfly over there in the corner. Let's talk about Godzilla versus King Kong.
This big old butterfly.
How did I go from butterfly to King Kong? I don't know.
No one knows. All right. Well,
I don't know how I'm married.
Well, later, y'all, and see us next time. What's the next one we're covering? Real quick.
GMK.
You don't want to do Biollante?
Well,
I mean, I'm down with GMK.
okay, let's do Biollante.
All right. You already got the notes for it.
We'll do 5 minutes of Biollante, then do 7 minutes of rambling, and then we need better structure.
It'd be all right.
Yeah.
All right, later, you guys.
Sweet.